I hope you've been enjoying this series as much as I have. I've been reading from this book, The Amazing Stories of Purgatory, where Sister Emmanuel interviewed Maria Simma. We are at the end of the book where she is talking about what other saints have said about purgatory. If you're enjoying this series as much as I have, I'd be humbled if you would consider contributing to my vocation here at buymeacoffee.com. Link is below. And if you can't afford anything, please, I covet your prayers. I truly do want to save 1 million souls before I die. Today we're reading about what Saint Therese, the child of Jesus, said about purgatory. Saint Therese is the youngest doctor of the church. At a time when Catholic intellectuals were focusing on the justice of God, the little flower threw herself into the arms of God, whom she saw as her closest friend and most loving father. Through her book, The Story of a Soul, she draws the church into new depths of God's mercy. In the Carmel of Lisieux, Sister Maria Filomena was convinced that she would have to pass through purgatory upon death. When she shared this with little Therese, the saint answered, "You do not have enough trust. You have too much fear before the good God. I can assure you that he is grieved over this. You should not fear purgatory because of the suffering there, but should instead ask that you do not deserve to go there in order to please God, who so reluctantly imposes this punishment. As soon as you try to please him in everything and have an unshakable trust, he purifies you every moment in his love, and he lets no sin remain. And then you can be sure that you will have to go to no purgatory." The little flower went even further than that. She truly thought that it was offending God if one didn't trust enough that he would go straight to heaven after death. When some of her sisters expressed to her that they expected to go to purgatory, she exclaimed, "Oh, how you grieve me! You do a great injury to God in believing that you're going to purgatory. When we love, we cannot go there." Therese of the Child Jesus was given the grace by God to see that purgatory was not intended to be a rule, but actually an exception. Doctrine teaches that everyone receives enough graces in order to go straight to God after passing the trials on earth. But purgatory is an emergency entry to heaven for those who have not grabbed God's grace for them. Another time, one of her novices, Sister Marie de la Trinité, said to her, "What if I fail even in the smallest thing? May I still hope to get straight to heaven?" Saint Therese, knowing the weaknesses of her novice, replied, "Yes, God is so good. He will know how to attract you to him. But despite this, try to be faithful so that he does not wait in vain for your love." Later, speaking about herself, Therese said, "I know that of myself I would not merit even to enter that place of expiation, since only holy souls can have entrance there. But I also know that the fire of love is more sanctifying than the prison of purgatory. I know that Jesus cannot desire useless sufferings for us, and that he would not inspire longings I feel unless he wanted to grant them." If the poor souls in purgatory had known on earth what to expect in eternity, purgatory would have remained empty. Sister Marie Febronia, 67, did not share the doctrine of Saint Therese on purgatory and found it presumptuous to believe that we could go straight to heaven. Saint Therese, the youngest of the community, tried to explain her point of view to the elderly nun, but to no avail. Finally, Saint Therese said to her, "My sister, if you want the justice of God, you will get it. A soul receives from God exactly what she expects from him." Less than a year later, in January 1892, Sister Febronia died. 3 months later, Saint Therese had a dream. She told the dream to her mother prioress in these words: "Oh, my mother, my sister Marie Febronia came to me last night and asked that we should pray for her. She's in purgatory surely because she had trusted too little in the mercy of the good God." Through her imploring behavior and profound looks, it seemed she wanted to say, "You were right. I am now delivered up to the full justice of God, but it is my fault. If I had listened to you, I would not be here now. I would have gone straight to heaven." To her, Sister Marie, Saint Therese wrote, What pleases the good God in me is that he sees me loving my littleness and my poverty, the blind hope that I have in his mercy. That is my only treasure, dear Godmother. Why should this treasure not be yours? Saint Therese inspires us to have the boldness of a child when dealing with God. And doesn't the kingdom of God belong to children? It's beautiful because I've never heard that before. This is the first time I am reading that and hearing that if we beg God for his mercy to even spare us from purgatory, that he would do so. And I do, with all my sinfulness, plan to be so bold as to beg God's mercy, because I don't think a million years in purgatory would be enough to expiate the sins I've committed. I know my sins. But if my great merciful God is willing to say, just your having asked to skip purgatory is enough for me, I will do so. Thank you, Sister Saint Therese. I appreciate your words, teaching me a little bit more about purgatory. I hope each of you has learned as well. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching this Bacon Bit. And as always, please remember to live your life sunny side up.